till the rubber hits the road here.
No, it's working out.
All right. Well, I'm Kathleen Sweeney with BookBrush. I'm the marketing lead and customer service manager, and I live in Illinois with my family. And most of the time, these presentations are virtual, and it's great because this tool is pretty visual. So I'm going to share my screen because that's better to look at. And we will walk through Brush has to offer. So there are a lot of really nice design tools out there, but they're not all designed specifically for the author in mind. And so folks have told us it's like Canva for authors. Some folks who find Photoshop has a really steep learning curve have really great luck in BookBrush. So we've made it so once you kind of get familiar, there's not a steep learning curve and you don't have to be tech savvy. You can jump in and start creating the marketing images, those 3D versions, and all the different things. So I think we have about an hour. I'm going to walk through different tools. What I think I'll do is pause between the tools and take questions. So if you're on Zoom, you can type them into the chat. In fact, I'll open that. And then I'll just have you, Gary, check with the room and see if folks have questions there. All right. So the first thing that we're going to start with is our custom creator. It's the first thing we built. It's our flagship tool. And this is where you're going to create your marketing images. And we have templates and you can do it from scratch. This is an online platform, so it's called bookbrush.com. And when you're using the tools, you're online, so it's a website. This is great for you because whenever we do updates and things in the background, you get the benefit of that right away. So it's not a software that you download to your computer and you're working on the online platform, always getting what's new and able to take advantage of those things. So we're going to jump into where it says here in the center, choose a tool to begin. I'm going to click the custom creator. And once we're in here, the tools and taskbar on the left-hand side, and your options are to create from scratch or to use our pre-made templates. And all of those are available if you start out on our free plan. So we have a free plan where you can create 15 images for free. It's a nice way to get familiar with the tools and see if you want to be a book brusher. So we have different popular ad sizes on the left, and they're organized by these different icons. So for example, there's Facebook icon. When you scroll down, you'll see that there are different things with the dimensions and pixels underneath, all kind of in the Facebook realm. And then we have Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. I'm going to jump around a little bit. We have BookBub. BookBub's super tiny. It's 300 by 250 pixels. So it's great for BookBub, but it can tend to look blurry or pixelated if you view it anywhere else, just due to that small pixel size. It's not your fault or ours. It's just that it's tiny. And then some other things, if you look like under the Amazon logo, we have the new sizes for the new Amazon A+ content that authors are able to add now themselves. So we have some of those standard sizes available. Under email, you can do your email header. And some other cool things under more, like cards, business cards and postcards. And under other, bookmarks and coasters. So as we start getting back out to in-person events and things, if you're wanting to design bookmarks to also, give to people who buy the book, or even if you're shipping, you could slip it in there. You could design those bookmarks and a little bit of swag here in BookBrush too. So what I'm going to start with is a Facebook ad. So I'm going to click Facebook and click the Facebook ad size. This is 1200 by 628 pixels. And I'm choosing it because it's nice and big, gives us a lot of room to work here. And then you can do the steps on the left in any order. So we have background, book template, text, and images. I'm going to start with book template because this is a place that BookBrush really shines for authors. We have over 100 3D versions. They're currently here displayed with a sample image. So as I scroll, you can kind of see the different choices. I don't want to be too speedy. So you literally put in your 2D cover and it transforms into all these different types of versions of your book in a 3D format. We have children's sizes in case you have any children's authors in the room. a wide variety of cover reveals. So if you're wondering, where do people get those images that show the book as a cover reveal, you can do that here in BookBrush. Kindle Vella, if anybody's exploring in Kindle Vella, it's a little different. They're asking for a square story image and then they display it as a circle. So we have ways for you to market that too. And just lots of cool choices in here. Now, because there are a whole bunch, I'm going to go back to the top. You can filter. So if you choose physical book, you'll see just those 3D options for physical book. Under ebook, you'll find a lot of options, and you'll probably notice the ebooks face every which way. Whereas when you click back to physical book, they're positioned so you don't see the spine. And that's so that it's easy peasy that you bring in your 2D cover and then just drops right in. So you don't have to worry about the spine. Under phone, you'll find phone options. And there's this pink one that's new. I'm so excited about this one. So lots of cool things in here. Audio options. When you click hands, these are ones with hands attached to it. So you can check those out. The reveal tag, these will be in both. So for example, if it's a physical book with reveal, you'll see it under physical book and you'll also see it under reveal. Same thing for ebook. And these can take you through several steps in your cover reveal process because there are little bits of rips and then you can show a little more. So depending how many stages you want to do to reveal your cover or how revealing you want to be, we have a lot of fun choices in there. And let's see, here's the children's options in case anybody's looking for those. Spirals, so if you have low, no content, you can do that. I'm going to skip the box set section for now because we're going to get to that later, but I do want to click to show you these are the Kindle Vella options. So what we're going to do is just create a quick ad. Say you were going to do a Facebook size. So I'm going to click on ebook. And you'll scroll through. If you see one you like, you'll click on it and then add your book. So I'm going to go the second one down on the left, click that, and it pops into some books that I already have in here. And if you're new, you'll just click in this drag and drop or click to upload and put your book cover in there. So I'm going to click and this spinning happens. This means that magic is happening here in BookBrush land. Something good is happening for you. And it's going to pop into the workspace. And then you can do some editing. So you can single click and adjust with this slider at the top to make it bigger. You can also, and this is probably my favorite way, I like to hold shift and drag the corner to resize, and you can move it around the image. You can add as many of these as you like. So if you want to add like a collage where you have a physical book and an ebook and a phone, that can be a powerful way to show your readers the ways that they can get your book. You could also add a series of ebooks or a series of physical books if you're wanting to show off a series or a series of standalones, if that's what you have. So that's an unlimited amount that you can put onto the image. We're going to do just the one. And next, we're going to go to the background step on the left. So I'm going to click on background, and this is where you'll put in a background image. Your choices in here are to search millions of free images. You can also upload your own. And if you're stuck for ideas, you can also look through. We rotate some sample search topics like table, reading is in here, background. So you could try some of those too. I'm going to search outer space. And these source from Pixabay. So you can come through here. They're set to pull the ones that are free for commercial use. And if you see ones you want to try, you can just click and it'll pop it into the workspace. So I can try these different ones here and see how they look. And then you can do background editing too. So I'm going to double click the background so you can get the full editing on the left. We can adjust the size with the slider. And then there's a secret little called like an eyeball icon in the lower right corner, and it lets you see what's outside the area. So this way, if you make it larger or smaller, you can see how it sits in there and you can move it. So if there's a part of the image you really like say it had a tree and you love it, you can make sure it's showing. So that's the eye icon. And then a couple other things in here, you can add a color behind. And this is neat because you can kind of change the feel of your background. So I'm going to click red, and then I'm going to adjust the transparency a little bit. And then as I click through these different colors, you can see it really kind of changes the tone. Now, depending on your image, you could make it seem a little more cozy or mysterious. We're already in outer space, so I'm not sure that's going to get much cozier, but it's kind of fun to see how those will change the image. And then if you change your mind, you can just remove that and adjust the transparency back. A couple other things, you can flip these horizontally and vertically. So if you like kind of this starburst, you want to make sure you're not missing out. You can flip here on the left and have that positioned this way. Another nice design tip is to blur the background, and you can do just a tiny bit or a whole bunch. And the reason that we like this as a suggestion is when the background is a little bit blurred, it helps the reader's eyes settle onto your book cover, because the book cover is what's in focus. So that can be kind of a powerful way to draw the reader's eye right where you want them. Two other handy things in the background editing are the overlays and filters. So overlays are little features that just kind of change on top of the background image. And filters are like when you post to Instagram, how you can change. So let's say you wanted it black and white, which is another way to make your book cover pop. You can change to these different filters here, and you can always close out too. So those are the overlays and filters. The next thing I'm going to do is add text, but does anybody have questions on anything so far? I don't want to carry on too far long where we miss anybody's questions. And if you're typing in the chat, I can watch for that too. All right, I'm going to keep rolling, but flag me down if there are questions here. So probably almost too soon. You don't know what you don't know yet, but we'll keep going. And if you have a question, I'm happy to answer. So next we're going to do text. I'm going to click on text on the left, click add a new text box, and it pops in the workspace. So we'll put in something kind of general like, what a page turner. You guys will have something more pertaining probably to your book, but we'll use this. I can move it around in the workspace. I can single click for some quick editing in this top gray stripe, or I can click on the left for edit text style. And this gives you the full editing. The top section is for the text itself, and the bottom section is the text background. For example, if you wanted to have a text box with a color, you can add that. So you'll see the things you would expect to see, bold, italics, and so forth. The hidden gems in here under font. If you click in here, we have a lot of nice choices under default fonts. And they're, hopefully you can see this, they're displayed in the way that they're going to look on the screen. Each font choice is. But here's the hidden gem. At the top, if you click add more fonts, you have access to 1,000 fonts. And you can use this in here. You can do it when we design covers. And really this helps you to find something that will really resonate with you or your book cover, your genre. I tend to gravitate to filtering by display and handwritten. And so as you look through here, if you see ones that appeal to you, you can just check mark. So for example, if I go to over and down this Black Ops one, let's say I love that one. We'll click and put a check mark next to it. This is going to add it to my list in the main screen. Additionally, over here on the right-hand side, you can upload your own custom font. So if you purchase the font that's on your book cover, and then you want to use it in your marketing images, you can bring that in. All right, so we've got that. We can click back on font. We've got just added fonts, and we can go with this cool Black Ops. And you could do things like you can center it. You can click your text box and just resize if you want to scoot it. However, whatever seems to work for you, you can make those changes here. We can change the color of the text if we want to. You could do line height, so you can stretch it out, make it more compact. And then the letter spacing is horizontally. It'll stretch it out, make it more compact that way. You can have as many text boxes as you like. So if you have multiple lines or blurbs that you want to put on there, you can add all of those. We'll go with just one for right now. So we've got our text box here. The next thing I'm going to do is go to the left to images. And these are things that you can add also. So you've got 3 tabs in here. They're called community stamps, My Images, and Searchable. So community stamps are for everybody in our BookBrush community. And you can click like, let's say we want the 5 stars. You can click and just move that around and position it in the image. And if there are other things, like you can click the retailers and see all these choices. And even on some of them, like for example, under available at Amazon, it says more from. And this is nice because like this black one is just not going to work out so great on the black background. So if that's in there, we don't need it, we can just delete. But you could try the white one, and all of a sudden that's a pretty good choice. So we can leave that one in there. And then there are handy things, these different buttons, like a call to action. Now, it's not possible to embed a hyperlink into an image like this, but what folks do is then make the whole image clickable on the platform where they're going to place it. Different social media icons that you can place on there. These bookshelves and tables are really popular because you can line up your books for the top of your newsletter or the top of your Facebook page, those kinds of things. Bestseller stamps that authors can use. These blank stamps, these pair really nicely with a text box. So if you wanted to use one of these and then place, say 99 cents in there, you can do that. And then there are pre-made text stamps for you too. So of course you can add a text box, but sometimes these are really nice to add. So let's just say we wanted special offer. So I click, I can add it to the workspace. And then I'll go back and show you how it would work with a blank stamp. So if we grab a blank stamp, put this in here, and you can layer any elements. So anything in here you can move in front and behind with these 2 little arrows in the lower right corner. So I'm going to send this one behind this one with just those little arrows. And then we can click that and we can resize here. You could resize the blank stamp as well, but it's a nice way to have like a little call to action. And then it's super flexible. So if I think, well, I need a little more real estate over here for the stars, I can scoot those over. So that's how you can create an image from scratch in here. What you'll do is in the top stripe, you'll click Save as a Project, and this saves it just in your account for you so that you can come back and make changes without starting from scratch. Then if you're ready to download, you'll click Download in the top stripe, and you can download as a PNG, JPEG, or PDF. Our paid plans have unlimited downloads, so you can just crank out as many as you like. You can try different backgrounds if you want to do some split testing and things like that. When you're exploring the free plan, you'll have 15 images. So you'll see a little 15 in the download, and then it will deduct the credit when you download one of your images. So that is creating an image from scratch. Now, a lot of times folks want to keep kind of the same look and feel across multiple platforms. So this is a Facebook ad size, but we can come over here to ad size and just kind of pivot. Let's say you're also wanting to put something on Instagram. You can click the Instagram icon here. Now, don't worry, everything's still here. When we talked about that eye icon in the lower right, we can use that, and then we can see everything. And we'll just make quick work of arranging in the new space. So I'm going to resize my background a little bit, scoot it over so I have a little bit of that blur. And I could resize this if I want to. Some of these I will, but I know we have a lot to get through. So you can just kind of imagine that some of them would still be a different size. What a page turner, get our stars. And perhaps this page turner would just go across the whole top. We'll reduce the font a little bit. But it's nice because you have all the same elements. So it's going to stay on brand for you, and that your readers and followers will recognize because this was the same image or very similar that you had on another platform. And you can again save as project in the top stripe. And then you're free to download again as PNG, JPEG, or PDF. So that's creating from scratch. The next thing I'm going to show you are the templates. So if in fact you used up all your creativity writing and now you're in here trying to do a marketing image and you're stuck for ideas, you can check out those community templates. Before I go in there, are there any questions from anybody? We're good.
What is this? When it said 47 credits, what does that mean?
Where did you see, was it on the background step?
The page before, right down there.
Yes. So this is the one place where you'll have credits, and it's called background removal. And it uses artificial intelligence to peel the background away from an image with a person, an animal, a product, or a vehicle. What I find a lot of authors doing is using it on their own picture. So I can show you even here how it would work. And they also use it then on book covers, like if you have a couple or a person that you have the picture, but you want them in a different scene. But here's what we'll do. We'll click on images. And in this images tab, the my images are just yours. So we're going to bring in a picture of me. So don't you worry. If you don't have a professional photographer, you're fine, because my husband took this and he is not a professional photographer. So we've got the picture in here. I'm going to click the three little dots and we'll click remove background, and it costs 1 credit. So this is where the credit will come into play. And this is when the magic is happening. So it's using artificial intelligence and peeling that away. So now you've got just the image of just yourself. So if you want to be in your marketing images, you could do that. I can layer, so I could be in front or behind. And this is what's really forgiving, is it's in here as an image. So you can add the filters and lighten it up. So in case your spouse is also not much of a photographer, you'll be okay. We could add different filters and things. So I find that people, I'll show you animated email signatures too. People like their photo for those kinds of things. I just presented, maybe it was last week, to the Cat Writers Association, and they were definitely thinking about using it for pets, because a lot of their books have their cats on the cover, and so then they can use them in other scenes by isolating them and having them in here too. I believe I have a couple of my kitty boys in here still too, right? See, so if we wanted this cat, I'm going to use this so we can. And he was in a different picture, use background removal, and it worked just fine. So you can use it for, it's a person, an animal, a product, or a vehicle. It costs 1 credit to do, but then it's going to be in my images for you to use over and over again. So I could use this picture as many times as I want, and it won't cost any additional credits. So good question. Thank you. All right. So we're going to go into templates and projects here. You've got 2 tabs. The My Projects will be the things that you saved in your account. So nobody else sees those, but it's really handy so you can come back in and work on those again. And then the community templates are put together by our graphic designer. They're super popular because you can change and edit everything about them. So it gives you a really nice starting point. You can also filter on the left by genre, and this can be multiple. So if you need mystery, thriller, and crime, you could choose all of those, for example. I'm going to go back up to platform, and you can see there are so many choices in here. These are on the free plan and all the paid plans. So of course you're going to see Facebook ad, which you would expect to see. But then other cool things like under newsletter, these are just sometimes invitations to get folks to sign up for your newsletter. And then once you reel them in, we have some email headers. So if you're wanting to update and change your email header, you can use these. Bookmark templates. So if you are in the market to design some bookmarks, you can try these. And I'll just click one so you can see how this would work. When you click on it, it goes in the workspace where it says your book cover goes here. You'll click over here to swap. You can put in your own book cover. Takes a minute to load. And you can move it around and reposition it and resize. Under author name, I can click that and we'll put in this author's name. Whoops, or if I could spell it right. And then if the font's not your cup of tea, you could just come in here and change it to something else that works for you. And then if the text is, you'd like something different, so maybe instead of escape, you feel like relax is what would work for you and your readers, you could change that up, change the font, and then download from there. Now, these you could either print at home or send to a printer, but that's how easy it is to use these as a nice starting point and then create whatever it is you want to work on. I'm going to go back in community templates here and just show you, we have the Amazon A+ single left image. the horizontal image, and then interesting things like launch party. So lots of different choices in here, and you can change anything you want to, but it gives you some great ideas as you're getting ready to do a launch. So definitely explore those and then go in and personalize them and put your touch on those. So any questions on community templates? All right. So two other things that live here in the custom creator are animation and video background effects. And these are available on the paid plans, but you have unlimited downloads of those. So I'm going to go into the My Projects tab. We'll grab one that we just worked on. And I'm going to take the background and just delete it. And then in the background step, instead of images, the center tab is videos. So we can try effects like smoke is one of my favorites. I'm going to click on this. And the second, I'm going to choose the second one down on the right. Now, when I add this, there's now a play button in the top stripe. So this is going to add a video background effect, and we'll go ahead and push play. And it's awesome. At about 2 seconds, the smoke starts rolling up, and it can create some mystery and some interest in your image. Now, when you add this, the system can tell. And so when you click on download, you'll see a fourth option, and it's going to download as an MP4. So if you have a video background effect, then you will have an MP4. Let me also, I'm going to delete these bits here, and I'm going to do an animation for you too. So I'm going to click on the book cover, and you can animate any and all elements, but I would probably choose one or two. If you animate everything, it's super busy and the reader doesn't know where their eye should settle. So I'm going to click on the left under animations, click add animation. Just so you don't miss anything, I'm going to click see all 100. So this lets you know all the different types there are. They're organized by attention grabbers. You can see it's going to bounce. I'm on the left. There's flash, shake. You can make your book Jell-O, which is a cool idea. I'm going to do the Jack in the Box here, but I also want to show you there are entrances that pair nicely with exits too. So you could even have your text fade in left and then fade out right if you add more than one. So there are lots of cool things, but we're going to just do a Jack in the Box. It's set up for 3 seconds. I'm going to change it to 5, and we'll push play again. So it's coming in with that motion, and you've got the smoke rolling up. Now we could remove the smoke and go back to the other background effect or the background image that was static and just have the animation. But people are having a lot of fun doing just adding a little motion. So you think, okay, I've only got this much time to be the ad that catches a reader's eye. The motion could help with that.
I have a question for you.
Absolutely.
Is this only animated when it's an MP4, or when you save it as another format, will it animate as a JPEG or a GIF or something else?
So when you save it in your account, and I'll go ahead and do that, it will save as a speedy version. So you can tell that it's one that you added animation. But if you download it as just the PNG or the JPEG, it won't have the motion in it. And the video background effect won't appear. The book will just be static. If you want the motion, you would download it as the MP4. But here's the little thumbnail of how it's going to look when you save it, when it has either an animation or a video background effect. So good question. And you can upload those anywhere that accepts an MP4. So you can just put those out onto social media. All right, so two other things in here that are pretty new and really popular have some built-in animation so that you can look cool without having to do or know much about what you're doing. So we're going to go into the community templates here, and we have a tab called collections on the left, and there are animated email signatures and animated mockups. So we'll peep the email signatures, and this is literally the largest webinar I ever had from our BookBrush folks when we launched these, because everybody wanted to see what they would do. So I'm going to click on one, and it's all set up for you. You can push play in the top stripe, and then it's super easy to edit. So let's just click on author name, And I'm going to change it to me. I'm not an author, but I'm a reader. So I need you guys to keep writing so I can keep reading. But for today, we'll pretend. I'm going to make that a little smaller. Click your book cover goes here. We can swap it. So you'll have your covers in here. You can just substitute those in really easily. And then you can see this is not a picture of me, but we already brought it in. So normally I would have wowed you right here with the background removal, but we've already done it. I can just click and it doesn't cost a credit because I'm already in here. I'm going to click. We'll do the filter. And let's add some animation for me. I could, let's see, fade in down would be nice. I'm going to make it larger. And you remember these little arrows in the lower right corner of any element can send it behind so we can get where we need to be. We'll tell this guy goodbye with the garbage can. And then we'll push play. So pretty quick and easy. One other thing that we didn't talk about is we have a color picker that matches. So let's say I'm going to click on the text. Anywhere that you have a color, you can match. So right here, the text is currently red, where it says primary color. I'll click that. And next to the circle, there's a little eyedropper. And when you bring it over, it will perfectly match whatever color is in the center. So if we wanted to match the color from our book cover, but we didn't know the code, when I click that eyedropper, now that matches really nicely. So you can keep on brand there too. So those are the animated email signatures, and folks are really enjoying those. And then we're going to go back into community templates and we'll do an animated mockup. And these we just launched a couple weeks ago, and they're really great because they put all of your needs in one spot. So you've got animation, music, and everything in one meme. So let me just show you. I really can't ever decide which one to pick. We'll do the fall one. So it's in the workspace. Click to swap. We'll put a book cover in. And hopefully you'll hear the sound. I'm going to go ahead and push play once the book cover's in here. And it's actually 30 seconds. You can shorten it if you want to, and you can change, like if the font's not your cup of tea or you want some different wording, you can do that. But those are really quick and easy to do. I'll show you another one or two of them. In fact, let's do Christmas because I think there's only like 7 Fridays till Christmas or something. Crazy. Let's see. Here's one up here. We can click, swap the covers. I'll put in a different one here. And you can still add to it. So for example, once you have it here, if you wanted to go to text and click add a new text box and have it be personalized. So if it said love Kim because she's the author, we could add that. And I could even click and do a little animation. We could just have it fade in. So we've got a little bit there. I'm going to push play. Just a cute little blurb, and you could shorten it if you wanted even a little shorter, but we have had a lot of fun with those new animated mockups because you just substitute your book, make a couple changes if you want to, and you're able to download, and those download also as an MP4. The 2 animated items, the email signature, and these are on all the paid plans. So any questions on any of those things? All right.
I just want to point out to everyone that you would spend a huge amount of time trying to learn how to make Photoshop do this. First of all, Photoshop is going to cost you $129 or more, right? Depending on what version you get. You're not going to be able to do all this. And there are templates already there to make it easy. And it's not going to do all this animation and everything for you. It is, I'm just telling you that this is an amazing set of tools for any author. And if you have more than one book, oh my God. Yeah, Dan.
I work with a lot of software. It looks very well done.
Awesome, thank you. I will tell our development team we got a thumbs up. That's awesome.
I'm in the software business, and it looks very very intuitive and well thought out, good design of the user interface. And how much is it?
Well, she'll get to that. Let her finish telling you everything.
And you know what? I can pop into the pricing because that might be, sometimes I save it to the end, but it's easier to tell, as we go through the tools, if you're honing in on that tool and you want to know. So we have it kind of set up. Anytime you're lost, go home. So in the upper left corner, it says home. So I'm going to click back out of here and it'll take us to the main screen. So this is where we started. In the top stripe, there's a tab that says pricing. So after the free plan, if you decide you want to get in the BookBrush family and start cranking out some images and enjoy working with the tools, we have 3 tiers. So you have Plus, Gold, and Platinum, and they're all paid yearly. So the Plus plan is $99 a year, and you have everything that we just did in the custom creator. So unlimited downloads, unlimited animation, and unlimited video backgrounds. And plus you can save projects and do all those things. Plus the cover creator, which we will do here in a minute. The gold plan steps up. So everything in Plus, and some additional tools. So that one's $146 per year. And it's going to add some other tools, which we will do, instant mockups and the box set creator. And then the top tier is Platinum. It's $246 a year, and it's amazing because it adds the book trailers. So we'll do that at the end. And if you're interested in creating book trailers, really this is a game changer because there are not a lot of places that you can do all of these things in one marketing toolbox when you look at the Platinum level. Platinum also includes 10 of those background removal credits per month. But if you're interested in background removal, you can buy it on any paid plan. So don't feel like you need to go all the way to Platinum to get the background removal. I'll have a coupon code at the end, so I'll make sure to give you that. And if you start on Plus or Gold and midway through the year, you decide you want to step up, you could upgrade for the remainder of your plan year too. So there's just kind of a look at the pricing and the tiers, which will probably help as we step into the next tools. But let me know if there's any questions on that stuff.
I would like to ask, in the very general statement, what we're doing here is creating covers and anything with illustrations and marketing materials like bookmarks. So that's what, now I could not, I wouldn't expect to make illustrations for in the text of the book, right?
Not inside, but the next tool we're going to look at is the cover creator. So we do have tools to design your cover. So we've got you there, but if you're doing illustrations on the inside, that's not something that we currently offer.
But I'm really getting excited. What you're really saying is that you can make covers, and you had all those options about Facebook and the various sizes. We're indicating the targets that you can put these covers, your illustrations on. Is that true?
Sure. So once you've designed the cover, either in our tool or if you already have the cover from elsewhere, then you can use that to post on Facebook and Instagram in that 3D version. So your book magically looks cool because it's 3D. So there's lots, and it's unlimited download. So it's really pretty neat. And
there's a bazillion flip art, right? In effect,
so
right?
The background images sourced from Pixabay, so they're humongous. You'll have really unlimited, plus you could upload your own. So if you are a photography buff or you purchase some photos, you could bring those in. So that would be an option for you too.
Well, this is very exciting. I tried to source some flip art, and it was 6 years ago. I went on the internet; it's not there anymore. So
how frustrating.
Yeah, well, fortunately, it's a simple thing, but this is terrific. I didn't mean to interrupt so much.
Oh, no, it's fine. I love that, sometimes you get started, and I know I throw a lot at people, and I'm a fast talker. So it's recorded if you need to watch some more.
Well, proceed.
All right. Vince, did you have a question?
Yeah, did you say that everything is saved on the program itself online? I mean, not on your own computer?
So once you download, you have everything you downloaded, and it's yours to do what you'd like to with. But I would recommend save as a project so it's saved in the system as well, because then when you come back in, it's all there and you can just change the price or the sale date or swap the background without starting from scratch every time. So both. It's saved in here if you save it, and then anything you download, you'll have. for yourself to use,
Got it.
and that won't go away.
That's cool.
All right, good questions. All right, I'm going to click back on home in the top. And so the tools we have left are Instant Mockups, Cover Creator, Box Set Creator, and Trailer Creator. So we still have a lot of things, but the Custom Creator is probably the most robust. So we will still, I think, be able to get through in about an hour for everybody. So I'm going to pop into covers. We're going to click on Cover Creator. And I will show you at the end, I also have webinars that focus on one tool at a time. So if you need to get a little more down and dirty with covers, you can join my next Cover Creator session. Those are free. And then you can learn more about those tools too. So those are available. But here in the Cover Creator, this can serve people in a lot of different places in their writing journey. So we have folks who are designing their first cover. We have folks who use this to mock up what they want to send it to their designer. Sometimes people already have the ebook cover and then they're doing the print, either the paperback or the hardcover option, and then audio, and then Kindle Vella is in here too. So tons of cool things. What I want to do is just kind of start with an ebook example. So there's Kindle, Kobo, Wattpad, and then the Kindle Vella lives in this one too. And we're going to mock up if you wanted to do one on your own from scratch. And then we'll also talk about the templates. And then I know Gary wanted to be sure to look at the hardcovers, so we will do that too. So if I chose Kindle and I was going to assemble a book cover, I can go through these tools. They work pretty much like what we just did in the Custom Creator. We can do background and we can search. So let's see if my spooky and your spooky are equally spooky. We'll try spooky. So if we look for a spooky image in here, I'll try this forest. And just for a little sanity check, you can click these three little dots in the upper right corner of any thumbnail, and it'll hyperlink you to Pixabay. So you can verify that they're free for commercial use. That's what it's set to pull, but we like to give folks the chance to check that out. This would also be a good time to use what we call that eye icon in the lower right corner. So if you want to pick, this forest kind of all looks the same. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here. But if there was one really redeeming tree on one side or the other, you can scoot it around. So you can pick your favorite parts. And then we'll go to text, add a new text box. We are going to call it The Forest. If you were looking for a really inspirational title, I'm probably not your girl. But we will go for font and pick an interesting font. This is actually why we added the 1,000 fonts. So the tool we were in before, we wanted folks when they were doing their book cover to have a lot of great options. I'm going to increase the size a whole bunch. And if it word wraps, you'll just grab your text box and make it bigger. I'm going to center it in the text box, and we do have centering tools over here on the right-hand side. I don't use them a lot, but I would maybe for this. So they're a little, looks like a grid line. It says toggle grid lines. One click gives you the grid lines, and the next one gives you, let me scoot this background out of the way. When you move this, you'll see those faint blue lines. Hopefully everybody in the back can see that, but it helps you if you wanted to line it up. And then you can just turn those back off. So you do have centering tools there. We'll add another text box here for author name. And I'm just going to situate that at the bottom. Now, when we used background removal before, we did it on my own picture, but here's how it can work on an image in here. If you go to background and search back like the back of a person, you would click through here. Let's see, who wants to join? How about this lady? So this will be kind of fun. She's sitting on a dock underneath the one with the trees. It's the next one down. Click the three dots, click remove background. So this is where you can purchase these credits on any plan, or you'll have some included on Platinum. And it's just the magic is happening in the background here using artificial intelligence. And it's nice because this works on your own photos. So if you have somebody that you want on your book cover, you can bring it in. Now here she is. She's no longer in this thumbnail over here on the side. She's on our book cover ready for our forest adventure. Now you can layer with those two little arrows again, so we can send her behind here. And then what I like about this is we talked about this before with the filtering and the blur, but we could add the same filter, for example, to her and to the background. I think I picked this one. So they kind of have that same look and feel, and you could do a little blur. Let me click on her. She could blur. She could also be a little bit transparent, so it gives you kind of that same little spooky look. Anyway, this is not perfect, but we just quickly mocked up a ebook cover. So my suggestion would be to zoom all the way out, give yourself a look at that thumbnail and see how it's going to look when folks are looking at the tiny version as they scroll by. And then zoom back in. And again, save as a project so that when you change your mind about something, you can come make quick changes. And once that saves, then when you go to download, you can download, let's say we did PNG. There's a spot to save it into covers. So once you've designed your cover and you want to use it in the marketing images, it's easy to get over there. You'll open up this kind of twizzle in the center and go into covers, and it'll save in covers. Plus you can click at the top, save to your computer, and then you have it. So that's just an example of ebook. If we wanted this to be the print, I'm going to go over and switch to that. So we'll click on size. I'm going to switch to print. And there's more questions in here. So you need to choose your print type. And the hardcover we've had for probably live about a month. We had beta testers before that so that we could kind of see how it was going to work with the new process. But if you choose the hardcover, you'll choose your trim size. Now he mentioned there's only a few. So one is 6x9. So we'll put that in here. Choose your paper type, which is important for the thickness of the spine. Most of the time the fiction is cream. And let's say our book is 310 pages. And we'll click submit. So now you've got the framework in here, and I can shift everything. I'm going to move this down so you can see. This green area is kind of what I would call like the safety zone. So you've got the extra bits for the wrap and the hinge. So I'm going to scoot these over. We can have her in here. And then like, for example, on the title, I can click the title. You can duplicate any text box with a plus button in the lower left corner. So I could have a second one so it matches. I'm going to make it this direction. And then there's a rotate to the nearest 45 degrees over here on the left underneath add a new text box. So it's super easy to kind of get it situated for the spine. So I'm going to click rotate, rotate, and then just decrease the size for the font and put it in here. I'm going to lighten the background only because I want you to be able to see the green lines. Probably should have used a different color background. Hopefully you can kind of see those. Then you'll add more text boxes for your blurb in the back, your name. If you want your photo on the back or any other logos, you can bring them into the images. And then let's talk about this rectangle. This rectangle is where the barcode will go. So it's just a placeholder. When you save as a project or when you download, that barcode will not be there, or that box will not be there. It's not in that spot. And then I've set myself up here for the perfect example because I want you to use the eye icon to see what's outside the area, because this looks pretty good. But guess what? There's a strip of white at the bottom. It will be a bust because it will not be the right size. So you always want to check that. So you can resize it to make sure you are outside all of the gray areas. So that's the hardback cover. Now, if you are working from a cover you already have, you can click on the left for add your covers. And this is an optional idea to bring in your front cover, a back cover, or spine. So if you bring in the front cover, if it's not the trim size you want, then you can work around it. So you can position the cover with its important elements inside that safety zone. Then either if you have access to that same cover art without the text, you could put more of those in there and work to create your either hardcover, or I'll click on the paperback so you can see it's a little bit different. It's much thinner because you don't have the hinge and you don't need as much for the wrap. So you can do both of those options in there. So any questions on that kind of thing? I know it's much more robust, but I know we have a lot to look at. We also have a lot of nice templates in here. So I want to show you those before we pop back out. On the left, you've got my projects. So these are yours that you've saved in here. And the templates, again, graphic designer, our BookBrush graphic designer puts these together for you. You can filter on the left by the type and or by genre. And then these give you just a nice way of thinking about what the cover might look like. Let's just click one. In your genre, what might go where, and then you'll personalize it. So you can, let me close this box here. You can change any of the text. You can change the color, the font, of course, the wording. So it's not going to look like anybody else's, but a lot of folks find it easier to substitute from an existing image like this rather than start from scratch. So feel free to explore these and use those kind of to get your creative juices flowing and then get things set up. So those are the community templates here in the Cover Creator. Cover Creator is on all the paid plans with an option to try before you buy. So if you're on the free plan, you can design one in here and try your hand at it and see how you like it. And it would just have the watermark. And then if you like it, you can upgrade and download without the watermark. All right, I'm going to go speeding along here. Are we ready for another tool? All right. So I'm going to go, you can either go to Home in the top left, or we'll just go to Tools in the top stripe. I'm going to go into Instant Mockups. This is our most popular tool because it has all of these real life images where you literally drop in your 2D cover. So here's the secret. I'm going to go down to Show All. When you see images on social media where they have a candle or a cup of tea and all this, they didn't set that up. They just dropped their 2D cover into here. And so these are just all kinds of different genres and scenes to place your book in. So we'll do a sample set here. In step 1, choose your book cover. So let's go with our cyborg here. So he's outlined. Step 2 has optional filter words if you're wanting to filter. If you're on the free plan or plus, because these are on the higher plans, there's a keyword for free. So you can try those out too. But I'm just going to click on some. So I'm going to click through these images. You can see we've got them outlined here. And as I pick, they're just kind of outlined in that BookBrush color here. Tons of different seasons. And like, I don't have a hammock. That would be really hard to set up. Here, all you have to do is put your 2D cover in. I'm a sucker for a swimming pool because I'm in Illinois and we just don't really have that kind of thing. I wish we did. All right. So I've got a few here. I'm going to go down to step 4, convert now at the bottom. And they do take about 4 seconds per image to download. So maybe don't do like 200 unless you have extra time on your hands. So these are going to download as a handy zip file because we did several. This is the one tool in BookBrush that works pretty well. It's compatible with a mobile device. So if you want to download just one of these on your mobile device, it will just be a PNG, so no zip file, and then you can upload right to social media. So I'm going to click download your images. And they're in the lower left corner here as a zip file. I'm going to extract all because it's zipped. And prepare to be amazed. Okay, we'll pull up the first one. All right, so you just dropped it in. It doesn't even matter if it's raining outside. You can get a nice looking image. Click through here. Kind of heavy on the fall ones because we're kind of in the midst of fall, but I do love a swimming pool. So just that's a quick look at how these would work. You just put your 2D cover in and you can download. We do have new ones that we add each month in the community templates for covers, for marketing images, and in instant mockups. So you'll always find new things coming in. And I do want to click on Platinum in here. We have 331 that are exclusive, and we add new ones of these too to our Platinum folks. So that top tier has some extras, and there's lots of nice ones in here too. So any questions on instant mockups? They are mostly gold plan and higher with some extras on Platinum. That is our most popular tool because it's so easy to use. So we are cruising. We'll go into Tools and the Box Set Creator. Do we have a hard stop at any certain time? Gary, I want to make sure.
No, it's attention span, right? Usually an hour,
Right.
an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay, we're close. So this is good. And the last thing's the coolest. So we're in good shape. Just a real quick look at the Box Set Creator. If you need a box set image, this is the tool to do that. And so I'll show you real quick. If you need one of these, you'll click, do you need to create a spine first? You'll use a community template here. You can do from scratch, but community templates are totally the way to go here. We have a graphic designer who puts these together. So I'm just going to click one. Place your book cover, so swap covers. And these tools are probably starting to look familiar. We're going through the same iterations here. Put the cover in, click your text box, change it to what you need. When, one was looking. And I'll change the font to something a little bit different here and reduce it. And these are completely changeable, so I can scoot that book cover up, my text box in here. So this is going to be spine number 1. We will click, you should save as a project. I will skip that part, but you'll click download and save. And this is different. You'll open up this twizzle and save into spines. This is how you're going to be able to assemble the box set. So there's spine number 1. We'll click swap the covers, put in another one. And I'm cheating a little bit because this series has the same overarching title, so I don't even have to change the text box. We'll scoot that over a little bit and download and save this one into spines. So you can have from 2 all the way up to 10. We're going to just do 2. So we've created 2 spines. We'll go back to box sets on the left. There's a thinner or a thicker version here. So we did the twofer. So we're choosing the one with 2 spines. And then you assemble it. So it says spine number 1. So we click it. Spine number 2, which we just created. And then since it's a 2-book set, the 3rd image is the cover. So we are in the spines tab. We'll go next door to the covers tab and click on this. And the elves are making your box set image here in the background. Look at this. We just quickly did a box set image. There's no actual box. It's just an image, but it's a really handy way if this is the way that you want to market your books to create this. You can save it in BookBrush into the images and save to your computer. And this one was on the gold plan and higher, but there's your quick box set image. This is one where I have a webinar that goes deeper into it. So if you, for example, see those box sets where the spines line up and create a picture, you can do that in here too. So any questions on box sets before we hop into the trailer creator? All right. Tools in the top stripe and trailer creator. I feel like I did save the best for last. This is super cool. So if you are interested in book trailers at all, this is a really nice, easy way to design something like this. Start with a community template. That's my recommendation. So we'll click that. And I'm going to play it so you can see. And we'll pause there. Hopefully with the live stream, it's not too glitchy looking. I promise you it was smooth where I was looking at it. Here's how you'll modify this. So you could literally change this to work for just about any genre. I recently did one for a potato themed cookbook. So if we can make that work, it can work for just about anything. So you'll click on the bottom where it says get started. And then you just work your way across editing the elements. So at the bottom, it says trailer elements. And you'll see the first thing highlighted is the music note. and underneath it says replace this audio or leave it. So of course I want to change it. We have over 100 types of commercial-free music. So over on the left, you can see they're organized by bright, emotional, epic, romantic, dark, and there's a My Music tab where you can upload your own. But let's try something epic, and you can play these and listen. That one's kind of quiet. We'll do another one. We'll try Deep Space. Okay, let's do sci-fi. So let's say that one's the ticket. You click the plus button, and it's going to give you the confirmation it's successfully replaced. And then you just work your way across. So at the bottom, it says next in the lower right. So with the background videos and images, you can just substitute either with your own or ones from Pixabay. So on the left, you can see it says search with a video camera and then search with an image. So we can do our outer space idea here. And these are little videos. So we'll just click and swap it out. Click next. So the next one is text. We'll just change the font to, how about this Black Ops one that we had picked? And you of course can change the passage, but we'll just leave it as is for here. So next we're going to replace this video. Look through here, change it out. I'm clicking next again in the lower right. And I'm changing the text or the font. So this next one is a background video, but I want you to see the image too. So we'll click on the image tab and search again, outer space. Let's see, this one would be cool. So we'll add that one in here. And next, text again. We'll just make the font match, so that will be nice. And we'll pick a different image for here. How about this one? Next, and this is where we're substituting the book. So we will pop this in here. And then I'm going to push stop and we'll go check out our handiwork here once the book is converted. And you can continue to make edits and changes. So I'm going to scoot this and probably make it a little bit bigger. And let's push stop and we'll start from the beginning. All right, so we just did a book trailer in just a matter of minutes. You could easily put in romancy stuff, Christmassy, really any kind of theme and genre because you're picking the images. So if it's romance, you can decide how much heat. If you're doing crime or something spooky, you can decide what those images are or video clips. This is easy mode. I'm going to give you a peep, especially for our person who works in this kind of stuff. So click on advanced. This is what's already set up for you, this whole timeline. And this is why I love the easy mode for the non-techie people. Your passages are already set up to hide, then zoom in and hide again at the appropriate time. The next passage is going to spend its time hiding longer, then zoom in and so forth. So you can toggle back from easy to advanced, but it is nice to be in easy mode to create those book trailers. So that is the trailer creator, and that is on the Platinum plan. Unlimited downloads of book trailers on that plan. So that is BookBrush. I'm going to head back to the home screen here. I did mention we have these webinars. So if you are in BookBrush, on the left-hand side where it says webinars, feel free to sign up for any of these where you want to learn more about one of these particular tools. And they're recorded. So even if you can't join live, you'll get the recording. And then I will do the coupon code, and I am in Ask Me Anything mode for questions.
Okay, microphone's open.
I should have also mentioned we have folders, so places that you can keep yourself organized in BookBrush, like in the projects tab, you can click new folder and save your work accordingly to keep organized. And so I have one called holiday, and that's where I hid my coupon code, but it's kind of nice because you can keep things in different places. So the coupon code, yes, go ahead.
Kathleen is giving us, for having sat in this presentation, and anyone in the writers group, 15% off their pricing in addition to everything.
And it won't expire, so you don't have to rush and use it. I want you to take your time to explore the tools and things, but it's mainline 15, and it's 15% discount on a new paid plan, or if you're on one and you want to upgrade, you can keep that handy and use it when you step up as well.
I'm sorry, Dan, you had a question?
Okay, I was just saying, can you include that screenshot in whatever you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to tell you guys, I don't know how much of this you've tried to do, but with all the tools I have and all the money I've spent, I still, even though I know how to use Photoshop, I know how to use the Premiere Elements, I know all of that, I would still now do it in this tool because it was so much faster. And the reason as authors that we don't do marketing is we don't understand it. It takes too long, right? It costs too much money. You can take back some control. And when I saw this, I got really excited because I thought, oh my God, I would use this tool in a minute.
I mean, to parameterize it the way it's done is very nice. And combining that with the, layout controls. I didn't even have to watch it closely. Of course, I work with software like this all the time. So I know what you're getting, but I'm quite impressed with what it is. And when I finish my novel and have to do a cover, I'll probably get a subscription. Because I can't imagine a better way. I've done 4 novels, and it's basically been I put together the covers. Not so much myself, but the people that I work with, just my regular business, put them together.
But if you have older books, you can be using this to redo stuff for your older books as well.
I absolutely would. And I imagine you can bring in a variety of graphics that you may already have and use that. So I have all that parameterized. But just to have it all segmented like that, so you can define it and swap things out very easily, that makes a lot of sense. It's real good stuff.
And it looks like the learning curve will be very long. So it feels so intuitive. Yeah, it really does.
And if you've done anything before, right? If you've dropped images into Word or something, it's using some similar, not identical, but it's using similar stuff. So that's why I brought it in, was because I thought this is about sharing tools that we have that we think work. And it's good whether you're marketing your own stuff because you're doing indie publishing or self-publishing, or whether you've got a publisher. Because how many people don't have book trailers?
Your name is Robert?
Mine is Robert.
Okay. Robert? Okay.
How many people don't have book trailers because you just go, it's going to cost me too much money. It's too difficult. So anyway, that's why I invited Kathleen. When she showed me this, I got really excited personally. And I'll be using this. So that's usually.
So I'll give you your screen back here, so you got that part back.
So does anyone have any questions for Kathleen?
Where in Illinois?
Say it loud.
Where in Illinois are you?
Right in the middle, Central Illinois in Bloomington Normal, home of Illinois State University.
I'm from DeKalb. My husband's
from DeKalb.
And Decatur.
Oh, in Decatur. Oh, that's not too far. Well, everything seems close as far as you guys are.
And I do have another dumb question, and that is, if you're making your own book, right? Then I can see how this works. What about when you create covers and you have to give them to publishers, for example? Do they?
You won't. You won't. They're going to do their own cover, but what you can do is take the cover image they give you, and then start dropping it in here to create the 3D images and angles you want, and to create and the ads and everything else. Because You can be using
nice.
paid ads and non-paid ads, right? So you could be
using, because you've actually you own that cover, because right, original when you drop it from them and back into you.
In fact, the ones in the examples were ones that were designed elsewhere, but we have permission to use in the examples. So those were just to put in for the 3D images. Lots of people get their covers done elsewhere and then do the 3D marketing images in here.
Oh, that's terrific. That's terrific. Yeah, so then you can edit and make bookmarks and do whatever you want.
Yep, get crazy.
Yeah, I think so. This is, I agree, this is very intuitive. I think it looks like an easy tool to use. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for helping us. Thank you very much. It's very professional. You're very ready. You're very good at the whole speech and everything.
I love showing off the tools. This is so much fun for me.
That, by the way, was the other reason why I invited Kathleen, because, you know, I feel guilty when we have a presenter who isn't a good presenter. I saw Kathleen do her thing. I said, oh my God.
He vetted me. He did. He came to some of my other webinars to make sure. So we would be good to go.
Not only is a product good, but Kathleen's a great presenter. So
yeah, well, thanks, great presentation. Yeah, super interesting. I feel like it's a couple of steps ahead of where I am, so it's all very interesting. A little bit daunting, but it looks super useful.
We'll be here when you're ready.
Yeah. Well, good. Hopefully not too long. Yeah.
How long is the coupon good for?
I didn't put an expiration date. So whenever you're ready, I'm not super pushy. I'm enthusiastic, but not pushy. So you can use it whenever the time is right for you.
Right.
Is there a help function on the software?
I didn't hear what that was.
Does the software include a help function? Because you might get lost doing it.
Yes. So in the top, hold on, let me just share my screen real quick here. In this top stripe in any tool, hopefully my picture's not underneath, there's a question mark that says help. And so if you click that, you can send us a note to our support team. And I answer most of them because I can't help myself. I just want to get with people and give them the tools they need. But there's also a nice search section with FAQs and things. And then if you register for any of those webinars, you'll also have those to rewatch whenever you want to too.
So,
all right.
Robert, not only is there a help function, but she has tutorials to help you get through it.
And most of those webinars now Thanksgiving's going to throw us off a little bit, but in like a 3 weeks time frame, you can get through most of them. We rotate through them about every 2.5 to 3.5 weeks or so.
How many users do you have?
We have, between free and paid, we have, I think, over 35,000 authors who are using the tool, but not everybody full-time, obviously. But that's when we kind of look at our user ID numbers, that's where we're at. We've been around for about 3 years.
That was my next question.
Yep. Oh, good. I anticipated it. All right.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Does the software get updated as does it get improved over time?
Yes. So you'll get updates, like, for example, when we add the new templates and things monthly, but we are also fixing things behind the scenes if, there's something that is a glitch or a bug, or just to make things faster and smoother. And those we don't always tell you about, but because it's online, as soon as it's fixed on our side, you'll have the benefit of that rather than something that you downloaded and then would have to download another update. So yeah, our development team is always troubleshooting and making little updates and changes and things like that.
Nice.
So
all right,
we recorded the video. I'll make that available on some YouTube channel sometime in the next couple of days. I thank all of you who came. I feel sorry for the people who didn't come because they probably could have seen this live and had their questions answered. Now they'll get an equally valuable video, but they won't get to ask questions. So I thank Kathleen. I thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Well, I'll sign off, and that way, if you have any other housekeeping, I know you kind of sped through the beginning. So if there's anything else that you need to show or talk to folks about, I will let you have the floor.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
She's very good, right? She feels very natural at what she does.
Yeah, she's great.
So
really, really interesting.
As I said, I've never brought anything where someone came in and specifically a sales pitch. But I have to tell you, I can do all these things, and it would take me 10 or 20 times as long to do it with software I've already bought, and I'd never do it that way again. I would do it through this. And so part of this is, you know, as we each learn tools, is to bring them and share them with each other. And I say again, I say this all the time, beware of the tendency to want everything for free. Because sometimes what you do is you don't take advantage of a tool that's well worth the money to save you time. Because this lets you do some things that you might otherwise have to buy. It's certainly, if you did this another way, you gain back time for writing or doing something else because it's much faster. Mm-hmm. So I know I think they have some free mode there. I don't know what it is, but I like to reward companies that do great work with buying their product.
Yeah, no, it looks an excellent product.
So, you know, one of the things I'd like to tell you is we have kind of a slim. I'm sorry?
You're going to have to make covers.
That's right. That's right.
Main cover.
You could do that, right? So, and honestly, you could actually use this for different things. If you didn't insert the book cover in it, you could be doing little ads for something else. I don't know what that would be for each of you, right? But you could, you know, you could do this to do an animated ad because you're doing a talk somewhere, right? There's a lot of ways this tool could be used that if you just use your creative imagination about it, you go, ah, that could work for this because I'm just going to use the same elements. Maybe I don't want a book cover there, or maybe you substitute something for the book cover. I don't know, because you can import your photo. So one thing I'm always concerned about is making sure that we continue to attract new people and attract our former members. And so tonight was kind of a thin showing, and also the main line group was a thin showing. In order to get the rooms that we have for in-person, if it's going to be at a restaurant, the only way we get those rooms is by giving them enough paying meals. So I do encourage you, when you are comfortable, to come out in person and to tell your friends about the group. If you think these things are of interest, the meetings and what you get out of them is valuable, to tell your friends about them so that we can also get them as members for two reasons. One is because in order to have these rooms in person, we're going to have a reasonable number of people having meals. And the second is that I need about 25 members to break even on the expenses of the group. And that includes meetup fees. It includes websites for the two groups. It includes the social media posting, anything that has to do, and there's the Zoom. So I ask you to remember that and send people our way so that they can be ongoing members, so that we can share that cost. In the end, it costs each of us $55 or $60, but it costs a lot more than that to run the group with all the assets we need.
Yeah.
So, anyone have anything else you want to share with the group for the good of us?
Martha?
I am actually, I went to the Rosemont Push for Publications.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting. I bought 3 interviews at $25 each for 15 minutes each, right? Mm-hmm. And the first gal didn't show up. She came later, and it turned out that she wasn't she was a no, I didn't like her.
Okay.
But then I had 2 interviews, and they were both positive. One gal said she'd definitely like to read anything that I had loose and handy, and she would make time to read it, and that was encouraging. And then I got send me a proposal to Sunbury Press, which is in Pennsylvania somewhere. And it was very exciting because he understood me. He was an IT guy. I'm an IT gal, I guess. And he understood my career path and what I was writing. My book is called The Researcher's Toolkit, and I won't bore you with the details, but basically it's a nonfiction tips and techniques useful in the quest for knowledge. The thing that I wanted to mention to you though was that he had on his website, when you go to do the submittal thing, he had like 15 questions, and it was very interesting. And it was the normal stuff, you know, what's your title, what's your subtitle, do you have illustrations, do you have authorizations for illustrations, and for all of that kind of stuff. And then he asked for 3 chapters, which I'm able to give him, of my autobiography, and a thing called BISAC, which is a code that's used by publishers to catalog books in. So I go running off, and you find it on the internet by going BISAC space code. And it's basically a taxonomy, and you jump in, and now you're comparing your book against this code. So, you know, in my case, I got into nonfiction. Then I picked the next category under nonfiction, which looked like education. And I still have to do more, because what happens is that when you're in this, apparently publishers share this code with each other. So when they get your book, they know where to catalog it in the library or where to put it on the shelves, okay, based on this code. So I'm fascinated with that because I don't know anybody who's competing with me, and I don't know where to go exactly. Then I get through the whole learning process about how to do this thing and discover that this code, they will send you the taxonomy for, like, as an individual, like $465. And I about fell over in a dead faint. I pretty much decided I am going to do it because apparently it's used by all publishers. But I thought I should share that with you because I did read comments on this guy's webpage, and basically one of the guys said, this is an amazing number of things to ask for on this page. And after you get through the 15 questions and you attach all of your stuff, you hit submittal, and they charge you $2.95 for sending in your proposal. Okay. So I'm going to try it, and it looks like I'm going to be able to ship this thing on Thursday, the proposal. Cool. So I'm excited. Yeah, it was taking me about 4 weeks though to go through, and it's 89,000 words at this point, so it took me a while. Anyway, that's my upper. I am going to submit.
Excellent.
Very cool.
Okay, looks like we'll move back to Noir to Bar. Will happen again in the spring, hopefully one way or another. Maybe 2 events. Hopefully have one for the library, for the Oxford Library, and then one in Westchester. So if you have the urge to write a noir story, it's 7 minutes or less reading time. And that's about all I have for tonight, except again, spread the word to other writers you know. Try and bring them into the fold. We're a stronger group when we have more people with more variety of opinions and experience. And share your knowledge with each other, either through the Facebook page, through sending an email, through contacting me. I'm starting to post things on the website as far as different resources go. So keep in mind that what you know, the next person may not know. And then that becomes a great way to give back to everyone else.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Read Sarah's book. Yes, please. Sarah, your title is?
He Loves Me Not.
Okay, available on Amazon.
Sorry, I can't hear it.
Didn't hear that. We didn't hear that.
He Loves Me Not, with a K.
Okay.
Read Vince's book. Vince, title?
Big Change Gonna Come.
Big Change Gonna Come. Read any of Todd Harrah's books. Review them because they need the reviews. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have like 5.
So do each other the gift of doing that and buying the book online so that Amazon sees it as credible. And thanks very much. Next meeting, I think, is set for well, if you're signed up for critique, it's next week. The 4th week in November is the mainline group. We're meeting in person at mainline, and then again, we'll be online as well. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye now. See you later, Gator.